It seems the calm of our island has been well and truly shaken because Nintendo decided to turn everything upside down. The 3.0 update for Animal Crossing New Horizons has arrived and brought changes no one expected. And look, it's no exaggeration to say the game has been given a new lease on life. New features, surprises in old events, reworked visual details. It even looks like a different Animal Crossing. So grab your coffee, adjust your net, and let's check out what really changed in this new era of virtual paradise. One of the most striking new additions in the 3.0 update for Animal Crossing New Horizons was the arrival of Kapp'n's Resort Hotel, which immediately catches the eye with a proposal entirely different from anything we've seen on the island so far. It's not just a new space. It's an experience that immerses the player in a vacation vibe that perfectly matches the game's relaxed spirit. The fact that Kapp'n and his family are running the establishment already brings that distinctive touch of personality that only this crew can offer, with hilarious conversations and family situations that make you want to visit the resort just to see what they are up to. As soon as you set foot in the resort, you can feel an almost festive atmosphere there. Each little shop has a curation of items different from the island's usual stores, so you feel like exploring and talking to every vendor present. The purchasing possibilities increase, but the coolest thing is noticing the mannequins scattered everywhere. They are used to display exclusive clothing for the resort, which makes the place look like a beachfront fashion runway. And honestly, this encourages us to try new looks and break away from that standard village visual. For those who love personalization and creating styles, it's easy to lose several afternoons testing new combinations and giving that unique touch to the character. The hotel rooms are a blank canvas for creativity. It's not just about decorating, but about creating true thematic settings, as if you were assembling dioramas. This freedom is one of the best parts of the update, as it allows you to explore styles that normally wouldn't fit in your own island house without space limitations. The decoration reward system is the icing on the cake. You invest time and ideas to create incredible rooms, and being recognized for it turns the process into something addictive. It's that feeling of a creative challenge, where the reward is not just a virtual item, but also seeing your ideas come to life, and even receiving compliments from the hotel staff. The social aspect of the resort also cannot be ignored. It's a meeting point for island residents, visitors, and even characters from past events. This creates a different dynamic from the common areas, makes the island seem alive and revolving around new developments, random encounters, and even spontaneous parties in the hotel lobby. You can feel that this new space is not just a room to decorate, but rather a social nucleus that encourages constant interaction, gift exchange, and even the building of new friendships and rivalries as the season changes. Kapp'n's Resort Hotel represents an important evolution in the Animal Crossing proposal, as it expands the concept of home away from home. Now there is an environment dedicated to aesthetic experimentation and social life, without being tied to the daily routine on the island. It makes you want to collect moments within that place, and every detail renovated by Kapp'n's team transmits the feeling that the game world is growing along with our desire to create and connect. It is a new feature that elevates the game to another level of replayability and fun. The update introduced Slumber Islands, a creative mode that opens up a whole new world for players to explore and express themselves without traditional game limitations. The ability to create up to 3 separate dream islands is a revolution for those who enjoy experimenting with different layouts and themes without having to delete or change the main island. It's like having a private creation studio where only imagination dictates the rules. Being able to go from one themed island to another without losing anything brings enormous freshness to the experience, especially for those who love design and customization. What really sets Slumber Islands apart is the free placement of items, completely removing the limitation of space and positioning to give total artistic freedom. This transforms what was once a laborious task into something fluid and fast, perfect for players who like to invent complex and detailed scenarios. I personally thought it was sensational to be able to unleash creativity without being stuck to the logic of space. Being able to assemble environments that seemed impossible before, like suspended gardens or futuristic cities that defy gravity. Another brilliant addition is the instant growth of plants. This not only saves valuable time, but also allows creators to quickly visualize the final scenario and make immediate adjustments without that annoying wait for natural growth. For landscaping fans, it becomes much easier to experiment with different types of trees, flowers, and shrubs, testing color and shape combinations to find the perfect harmony in the island's visual. The total control over the island's time and weather is a final touch that elevates the creative mode to another level. You can create autumnal environments with falling leaves, sunny beaches, or even dramatically beautiful rainy scenarios with a simple adjustment. This customization is not just aesthetic. It helps define the ideal atmosphere for each island and gives creators the chance to play with the mood and emotion they want to convey in their scenarios. The weather on each island can really tell a different visual story depending on the choices made. Overall, Slumber Islands represent a fantastic expansion of the Animal Crossing universe. They primarily cater to players who love creativity and customization, unleashing the maximum artistic potential within the game. This freedom to experiment without restrictions, have multiple spaces to create, and exert total control over the environment is a gift to the community that will undoubtedly generate impressive and inspiring works. It is classic Animal Crossing, but raised to a level of freedom that previously only existed in the fans' imagination. The introduction of online collaborative decoration on Slumber Islands is, without a doubt, one of the coolest and most social changes in New Horizons. The possibility of up to 11 friends, or 7 on the original Switch, joining together to build and decorate makes the game take on a more collective and fun character, taking the creative experience to a whole new level. It's no longer just your creation space, but an opportunity to combine ideas, styles, and talents from multiple people at the same time, something that creates much richer and more varied results. This collaborative mode transforms the act of decorating into a true online party, where each participant can contribute their personal touch, exchange suggestions live, and even compete to create the coolest environment. It's a social dynamic that perfectly fits the DNA of Animal Crossing, which has always been focused on community and interaction. Personally, I see this as an invitation to play with friends and even with strangers who share the same love for design, which brings a climate of cooperation that we rarely find in other games of this genre. Furthermore, the limit of 11 people, or 7 on the original Switch, shows that the team was concerned with optimizing the experience without losing fluidity and online stability. This means that the system supports large gatherings, but maintains a controlled environment where decoration actions do not become chaotic. This technical balance is crucial to ensure the experience is fun and frustration-free, which shows a special care from the developers with the quality of the multiplayer. For those who have a fixed group of friends who play, this function is a treat for long sessions of joint creation, with everyone being able to focus on different parts of the island, exploring diverse styles and techniques. That famous friendship that is strengthened in the art of creating together can emerge from there, or even new ideas that inspire more ambitious projects in the future. It is a modern and dynamic way to expand the potential of Animal Crossing, reinforcing that the game is meant to be lived in community, even if virtually. In the end, online collaborative decoration is one of the biggest strengths of the 3.0 update for those seeking more interaction and dynamism within the Animal Crossing universe. It is an open invitation to build together, to transform the Dream Island into a lively space full of personality and multiple creativity, which results not only in aesthetically incredible constructions, but in shared memories that will hardly be forgotten by the players. The mass crafting functionality for DIY items in the 3.0 update is one of the most practical and desired additions by players who spend hours building and decorating their islands. Before, it was necessary to make each item manually one by one, which made the crafting process quite time-consuming and even somewhat repetitive for those who like to produce on a large scale. Now, being able to fabricate several items at once is a game changer for everyone who enjoys heavily investing in customization and resource organization. With this new feature, it becomes much easier and faster to stock up on items to decorate your island, trade with friends, or prepare special events, without the anxiety of waiting for each item to finish. It is a huge gain in time and convenience, which allows you to focus more on the creative and exploratory part of the game, without being stuck in the repetitive part of crafting. I confess that this change brought a sense of freedom for me, as I could plan larger projects without fear of losing hours just doing the basics. In addition to saving time, mass crafting brings a more dynamic rhythm to the daily gameplay. For example, those who want to quickly revamp the island or prepare a themed space can do this more quickly without long interruptions to produce each component. This fluidity keeps the game interesting for longer, as you spend more time seeing your island take shape than expending energy on mechanical processes. Another cool point is that this functionality responds directly to community feedback, showing a commitment from the developers to listen and improve the player's experience. This creates a stronger connection between fans and the team, allowing the game to evolve more organically according to the real needs of those who play. This exchange results in a more satisfactory experience, aligned with public expectations. Overall, DIY mass crafting is a simple improvement, but one that deeply impacts daily life within Animal Crossing. It makes the game more accessible for those who like crafting, more interesting for those who like to decorate, and more fun for everyone who wants to enjoy the peaceful island life without wasting time. An adjustment that made a big difference and will certainly please both veterans and new players of the Animal Crossing universe. The house storage expansion is a huge achievement for those who, like me, love to collect and keep every special item on the island. Before, the storage limit was one of the biggest challenges, because we ended up having to very carefully manage what to keep and what to sell or donate. Now, with the capacity increased to up to 9,000 items, the feeling is of finally being able to breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that almost nothing needs to be discarded or forgotten in the closet. This expansion includes not only common objects, but also already grown trees, shrubs, and plants, which is a significant differentiator for players who like to cultivate and conserve specific gardens outside the main island or on creative islands. You can think of maintaining a true nursery inside the house, with total control over the plants you appreciate, without having to give them up due to lack of space. It is a great help for those who enjoy virtual gardening and want to preserve their efforts without limitations. Having this large storage capacity changes the entire planning dynamic within the game, as now we can make larger collections, prepare seasonal events, and even set up stocks for exchanges and trade with friends without worrying about filling up the inventory. The peace of mind of being able to store so many items also encourages experimentation and the use of a greater variety of objects, which previously had to be discarded to make room for others. In addition, the sense of progress that this expansion brings is enormous. You can see how the game is evolving to keep up with the pace of the most dedicated players who want to explore everything and have access to a wealth of detail and customization without storage limitations. For me, this brings a renewed sense of commitment to the game, as I can dedicate myself more without the constant pressure of organizing and deleting collections. Ultimately, the storage expansion is a change that brings more freedom, convenience, and possibility to all players. It is a practical upgrade, but one that represents a lot for the gaming experience, especially for those who love to collect, plant, and decorate calmly, knowing that every precious item has its guaranteed place in the house. It is the peace of mind of having enough space for all the love invested in the island. The 3.0 update for Animal Crossing New Horizons brought a special collaboration with Nintendo and LEGO, adding new retro furniture and clothing that delight both fans of classic games and collectors of themed items. Items like the Ultra Hand, a nostalgic Nintendo invention, and clothes inspired by titles playable via NSO bring that classic charm that directly refers to the company's history, creating a very strong emotional connection for those who have followed the brand for years. The LEGO-themed items, in turn, add a different creative dimension, as the characteristic aesthetic of the blocks encourages players to assemble fun and unique environments on their islands. This type of content opens up vast possibilities for decoration, allowing players to mix retro Nintendo styles with the modernity and versatility of LEGO pieces, resulting in visually rich and personalized spaces. This collaboration is made available primarily via in-game purchases or promotions, which helps stimulate the internal economy and encourages continuous community engagement. It is a smart way to keep the game always fresh, with new features that appeal to different player profiles, from the oldest, nostalgic ones to those seeking new inspirations for their islands. It is worth highlighting that these items are not just decorative, but carry a strong symbolic load as they represent historical milestones of Nintendo and the creative culture of the LEGO universe. For those who love to mess with decoration, this mix of themes opens up a huge range for experimentation and creativity, encouraging increasingly original projects and celebrating the past and present of digital entertainment. Overall, the collaboration with Nintendo and LEGO in the form of this furniture and clothing is a valuable addition that expands the game's universe, reinforcing its identity and connection with major brands while offering new customization experiences. For players, it is a chance to express their love for these franchises in a fun and creative way within the already beloved world of Animal Crossing. The update brought a nostalgic and charming collaboration with the Legend of Zelda and Splatoon franchises via Amiibo. Villages and items inspired by these iconic universes return to the game and can be unlocked by using compatible Amiibos, which creates a cool connection with other Nintendo experiences within your Animal Crossing world. For fans of these series, it is a way to bring a little of the unique adventure and aesthetic to their islands, making them richer and more diversified. The themed villages and related items offer a special touch of personalization that mixes the folklore and setting of The Legend of Zelda with the vibrant and modern style of the Splatoon universe. This means that by having these amiibos, you can add areas inspired by these games that expand the creative range of the islands, mixing nostalgia and novelty harmoniously. It is a feast for those who love details and want a space that tells a visual story within the game. For me, the return of this content via Amiibo is particularly interesting because it encourages interaction with the Nintendo ecosystem, making the player revisit characters and elements that marked their gaming experience in other ways. Furthermore, unlocking these special decorations with Amiibos gives a sense of accomplishment and exclusivity, which further values the investment in collecting these physical figures. The Amiibo unlock system also keeps the game connected to collector culture, reinforcing the role of Amiibos as objects that enrich the experience without taking the focus away from the game's personalization and exploration. This makes the gameplay more diverse and can even spark the interest of new players in the Nintendo universe as a whole. Overall, the Zelda and Splatoon crossovers via Amiibo represent a special chapter in the expansion of Animal Crossing, bringing content that unites fans, collectors, and creators in a fun and meaningful way. It is further proof of the care and attention of the developers in connecting worlds and stories that players love.